Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Young at Heart, featuring nursery rhymes, stories, songs, poems, Mother Goose, Aesop's Fables, Lewis Carroll, limericks, larks, epic stories of the great operas, and such, to keep us all young at heart. Tonight, we are returning to Aesop's Fables. We haven't entertained ourselves with these in quite a long time. I think you will enjoy these. And here we go. Zeus and the Men. Having made men, and let's also state women, Zeus entrusted Hermes with pouring over them some intelligence. Hermes, making equal quantities for each, poured the potion over them. Thus it happened that the short people, covered by their portion, became sensible people, but the tall people, not being covered all over by the mixture, had less sense than the others. The moral of the fable? This fable applies to people of great stature, but who are small in spirit. What a great retort to that song from the 1970s or 80s called Short People. Do you remember that? If only we had remembered our Aesop's Fables, we could have had a more intelligent conversation over the matter, all of us who are under 6 feet. Which, by the way, is quite a large portion of the human population. Zeus and the Men, that one was called. This one is fun. Zeus and the Jar of Good Things. Zeus shut up all good things in a huge wine jar. In Greek, a huge wine jar is pithos. And Zeus, foolishly, left this huge wine jar in the hands of a man. The man became curious and wanted to know what was inside. So he prized open the lid, and all the good things flew away, flying up to the gods. Thus, hope alone remains with humanity, promising good things which have fled. Well, you may be delighted to recognize that in this fable, it's a man who is too curious, unlike the Greek mythology, which you thought of, didn't you? Pandora! And she had the box that unleashed all the evil things, except hope, also in hers. So here we have good things fled, evil things there, but it's both in the parallel stories, male and female, who get us into a lot of trouble. So there we are. Let's see. One more. Yeah, just one more for tonight. As it's getting very dark here. Zeus and the Tortoise. Zeus entertained all the animals at his wedding feast. Only the tortoise was absent. Puzzled by his absence, Zeus asked her the next day, "Why, all alone among all the animals, did you not attend my wedding feast?" The tortoise replied, "There's no place like home." This aroused the anger of Zeus, and he condemned the tortoise to carry her home everywhere on her back. It is thus that many prefer to live simply at home than to eat richly at the table of others. Well, that gives us something to ponder, doesn't it? Which leads me to an associated thought. You recall the ending of the Wizard of Oz film, that 1939 treasure that we've all watched 25 times, if not more, since our youth. And when Dorothy returns from Oz, Judy Garland proclaims from the script, "There's no place like home. There's no place like home." But intellectuals these days, and film critics, and those who engage in film analysis think, what a cheap way to conclude a quite fascinating story. Couldn't Dorothy have learned something else? Like the power of friendship, perhaps? That it takes a village to get rid of the wicked witch? So all this from this tortoise, Zeus and the tortoise. There's no place like home. But maybe because home is where people we love are, and it's still saying it takes a village, because we're people of relationship. Are we not? Are we not? Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Let there be light. But it's probably time for you to go to bed. So, good night, everybody. Thanks for joining me for Young at Heart.